Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. And this video today we will be using this Clairefontaine watercolor paper. It is 100% cotton, 300 GSM or 140 pounds, 20 by 40 centimeters, and cold press. I have also divided it into 3 equal parts because today I will be painting 3 simple seascapes. First, I will start with pre-wetting my paper, the first part, and then with a lighter yellow, I will go over the entire painting and just making the middle part, the darkest, the most yellow, I will place there. Afterwards, I'm picking up a little bit of this pink. This is a skin pink from my collection of colors, pastel colors. Just adding that one, and of course you can use any watercolors you have. First yellow, then some pink, and then this lighter brown. This is something like a raw sienna, I do believe, maybe just with a little bit of burnt sienna in it. And then just adding that here and there, creating the clouds in my sky. Now again, I have picked up a little bit of the yellow. It's just going beneath my clouds just to give them some shine. A little bit of the blue. And with the blue, I'm just going in the lower part of my sky and also for the sea. As you can see, I'm using a lighter washes. I'm not using any dark and saturated pigments. Again, on the left side, I do want my land to be. So I am using again that same color, something like I guess I already said, burnt sienna and raw sienna mix. And then just painting the lower part of my beach a little bit darker. Again, picking up some blue. And I do want the lower part of the sea to be also the darker, the part that is near to us. I do want to make it darker, and the part that is a little bit further away in the distance towards the horizon line, I do want to make it lighter. I haven't mixed gray on my palette, but you can do that if it's make it easier for you. But I've added some blue and then on top some brown to create this blue grayish color. As I said, you can mix those colors on your palette, so just to avoid any muddy colors or unwanted colors on your painting. You can see also that I did leave a little bit of the white spot between the sea and the beach because I do want to make it look like there is some reflection from the water there. For the second one, I started the same, added some clean water, pre-wetted my paper, on top added a little bit of the yellow, and then started off with the skin pink again. In between, I'm adding again some warm yellow, just beneath those pink skies, and on the left side, pink clouds. And then with same blue, I'm painting in the sea. And you can see I'm leaving some spots a little bit lighter again, some spots a little bit darker nearest to us. I do want to make it the darkest, and further away in the distance a little bit lighter. And as you can see, for today I am using this small flat brush. I did wanted to show you how to paint the seascapes and landscapes actually with the flat brush, because I do believe sometimes it does make it easier to paint those cloud shapes, and especially if you don't want to be very realistic but just want to put in some impressions, I do believe that maybe a flat brush would be a good brush, because you can use the flatter size, the thicker side, and you can also use just the tip of the brush to create a very thin lines. For the third one, again, same thing. I started off with pre-wetting the entire paper, on top adding yellow, and now with a clean towel, I'm just picking up the paint in a circle for the sun, and also just moving that clean towel lower to create a reflection in the sea. On top, again, adding some skin pink color. It is mixing with my yellows and also creating some oranges, that's fine. On top, I'm adding some blue, and also on the horizon line going into a little bit into my pink, and then just mixing those two colors and creating some violet in that part. Just the different types of the skies, very similar, but just slightly different. In the lower part where my sea is, I have added a little bit more of the yellow. And I'm sorry, my camera just stopped here, so I was adding some blue into that yellow. And also in the lower part where the beach is going to be, I have added again mix of that, actually that color between burnt sienna and raw umber, because I do like that one for the beach. And I have left it to dry. Just again moving on to the first one, which is now dry, and I will be creating some distant land just nearest to the horizon line using yellow and using that lighter brown. On the bottom of that, I do want to make it slightly darker, and on top a little bit lighter, just going slightly into my horizon line, making it a little bit longer than my beach, and then adding a little bit more of the pigment to the beach. As you can see, I am making harsh lines. I did not prevent the paper this time. I do want those lines to be a little bit harsher. A little bit more of the brown. I have mixed that lighter brown with black to just add a little bit more of the diversity, some shadows and some maybe dirt to my beach. A little bit more of the details. And then with that blue I have used earlier, I'm painting in also the details to the sea. Just adding some darker spots, some reflections, the movement of the sea, and I decided also to add a few distant, I don't know if they're people or something in the beach, but I have decided just to add a little bit more of that, just add some detail that it's going to stand out, and a little bit more of the details to the beach, to the sea. And with that, I'll be finishing off with the first painting, quite simple as I said. Moving on to the second one, adding a distant land. First I've added it with the yellow, just stopping in with the tip of my brush. Then added some lighter brown, and on top a little bit of the black, just to create some land-like shapes, some maybe trees in the distance. And then picking up a little bit of the paint in my reflection. And you can see I'm just using a clean water and picking it up with my clean towel. On top I have added a couple of splatters just to make it look a little bit more interesting, and I don't want to have one straight line on the top of my land, so I have added a couple of splatters. If you're afraid they're going to end up in your sea, you can cover that part, and also sky. And now I have mixed this greenish color, a little bit of the green, a little bit of the blue, and just added it in between onto my sea. And for the third one, again, quite simple. First thing, I will add the horizon line with the blue. And then also a little bit of that lighter wash into my sea. Just again to create some waves and some movement to the sea. To the middle part, just around the reflection, I will be adding some yellow just to make it brighter. And in the lower part where my beach is, I'm adding some brown, and again some blue. And now I have turned my paper around when that dried, and I will be painting the waves just nearest to the shore. And this time I'm using a blue in which I've added just a little bit of the black to tone it down, to make it slightly darker. And then on the dry paper I am adding some details, and you can see I'm skipping some parts, leaving them white, looking like a reflection in my waves, and some parts I am painting even darker to make it look like the darkest shadow. I'm not using a lot of water and a lot of pigment in my brush, just adding layers. And then just above that, with again almost a dry brush, I'm adding a little bit more of the blue, creating again a little bit more of the movement. And we don't want make this anything complicated. We do want these paintings to be quite simple, impressionistic, and if you want to use a little bit more pigmented color, that's fine. I did want to make them pastel and very, very light. And with that, I'll be finishing off with all of those 3 seascapes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you're going to give it a try. I do believe they're quite simple, and even if you're a beginner, you can definitely give it a try. Nice practice. And guys, thank you so much for watching this video, for all your support. If you do like it, please hit the like button, share it, and comment. If you haven't still, please do subscribe to my channel. There are like over 300 videos, tutorials on my channel, so I do believe you can find a lot of interesting things for yourself. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!